My name's Aaron Cairo. I'm a sponsored skateboarder from the San Francisco Bay Area, and today I'm going to teach you how to do a tray flip. Tray flip, 360 flip, 360 degree kick flip, however you want to call it. That is where the board goes like this. It is doing a 360 and a kick flip at the same time. So it's a combination of those two things, which creates the 360 flip. I've been getting a lot of questions about this recently. This trick is very, very heavily focused on your back foot. I'm going to take you through all of the steps. I'm going to take you through the foot position, etc. Okay, so let's start in explaining this trick with the foot position. So your front foot is at about a 45-degree angle right there. I like to have it just down from the front bolts. That seems to be a very good position. But also, just so you know, like I could do a tray flip with my front foot almost anywhere. And I want you to understand that because the foot position is not the most crucial thing. The most crucial thing is the back foot, the scoop, and really understanding how this trick works and why it works. Okay, so your front foot is there. Your back foot is really heavily in that side pocket. When I talk about the pocket, what I'm really meaning is this section right here. So my toes are hanging over the edge there, and then as I push down and pop it and scoop it, it's gonna go really heavily like that. So my front foot is there, sort of maintaining control of the board, and my back foot is in the back pocket. Another thing I wanna point out, just so you guys know, in a lot of tricks, you'll have your feet set up like that, where one foot is on this side and the other foot is on that side, and it really helps, and I'll tell you why. When I push down on the back foot this way, you'll notice that the board is tilting up like that. And you want that because this rail right here, this bit of concave, is then going up into your foot. So it's going up like that, and then when your foot flicks it, you have it perfectly poised to create that spin. So back foot here, right in that back pocket. And what's really interesting about the tray flip specifically is that when you scoop it, it almost pops at a 90-degree spin. So it goes like that, and by the time it lifts off the ground, it's almost like that, already at 90 degrees. And then it just flips around really easily. Okay, so that's the foot position. That's where your front foot is, that's where your back foot is, and that's a lot of information of how to work that out. So before you get into trying this trick, you should definitely have your kick flips down. You should definitely have varial flips down. You could have 360 pop shove-its down, but honestly, in my personal opinion, thoroughly labeled as such, the 360 pop shove-it is way harder than the 360 flip. So I wouldn't say that that's a necessary prerequisite. But you do need to know how your back foot is scooping. So the first thing that we're gonna do with this trick, so you guys can learn it as the practice step, is we're gonna just learn to scoop your back foot really, really hard. So you're gonna stand off the board, you're gonna put your back foot right here in that scooping motion, and you're gonna drop it down and back as hard as you can. Now the motion with your back foot is really, let's say these are my toes, right? It's really like whack. It's really straight back. On a lot of other tricks like the ollie, you're pushing straight down into the ground. On the tray flip, you're really going really far back on the scoop, and you have got to learn that. That's the one thing that is the most important point. Scoop it straight back and make it spin the 360. It doesn't really matter if the board is going that way or spinning or whatever. As long as you can pop it, make it spin that 360, you've got that back foot motion. It's really important to get that. So just pop it, scoop it as hard as you can, and see if you can make the board do a 360 without your front foot being involved at all. Your front foot is gonna be completely stepping on the ground, just your back foot, boom, spin it around. Now the next practice step, you're gonna add in your front foot. You're gonna put it right there. You're gonna do the same thing with your back foot, and you're gonna scoop it and flick with your front foot, and you're gonna try and just get that rotation. See if you can just get it to do that 360 flip rotation. And on this one, you're gonna step off with your back foot, and you're gonna work on sort of shooting the board out in front of you. This is gonna be crucial for when you begin to land this trick. When you're standing on the board, you wanna sort of lean back into your back foot, and then push that really hard. And then as that rail comes up, you're just gonna give it the ever so slightest flick with your toe. Your front foot almost does nothing and spins around. Your back foot is gonna come off and your front foot is gonna hang out right there. It's very important that you just leave your front foot there. It is a point of control. So when that board spins around like this, you need to have your front foot there to catch it, because that is the foot that will stop the rotation. And then your front foot will put it down. And then your back foot, which should just be dangling up in the air with your knee bent, will then just land back on that tail. But it's really important on this step, the practice step specifically, that you practice flicking and spinning the board out in front of you, going in that direction. Because the most common mistake that people make on this, they'll get really close. They'll get the spin of the 360 flip, but their feet will land either here, like their back foot on the nose and their front foot on the ground, or really close to the nose. And the reason that's happening is because they're leaning forward. So their motion of their body's going sort of like this direction. Their upper body's leaning so far forward. They push the effort down, the board goes behind them, and their body goes forward. It's all physics. So now, if they have their upper body sort of in this direction, now they pop down, and now they shoot the board forward in front of them. And that is exactly where you want it. You want the board forward, you want to be able to see it, you want to have your front foot there, be able to stop that rotation, put it down, and land with your back foot. Crucial, super, super important. Pop it, flick it, get that rotation, stop the spin, land on it, land bolts, and roll away. If you guys practice this practice step where you're stepping off with your back foot, you're getting the flick really down and you have that down really, really well, that is the most important step, because then from there, all you gotta do is scoop it, flick it, bend your back knee, keep your front foot in the air, which will catch it and stop the board, and then put your back foot on and land. That is all there is to the tray flip. This is not an easy trick. There are a lot of people who struggle on this trick for quite some time. Don't get down on yourself if you feel like, oh, I'm never gonna get it. You will. You absolutely will get the tray flip. It's gonna take a lot of hard work. It's gonna take persistence. But honestly, I just wanna say, like, it wouldn't be enjoyable. It wouldn't be like an accomplishment, a joyful accomplishment, if it wasn't a lot of work that took a lot of persistence. You don't wanna just do the easiest tricks and be like, oh, I got it. No, you wanna push yourself. You wanna push yourself every day to reach the next level, to land the tricks. So another thing that can go wrong is you can land primo, like that. Ow, Mom. And the way to avoid that is just a lot of that earlier practice step. You're just drilling this muscle memory in with repetition as many times as you can, getting the flick, the spin to go like that. Come around, catch it with your front foot as many times as possible. And the more times you do that, the better your muscle memory is gonna be. And you can get to a point where you can do a tray flip without looking, you can do a tray flip blindfolded, because you have drilled that muscle memory in. I really want you guys to understand that. Skateboarding is not something that you just have to be naturally talented at in order to do. No, it's something that you work really hard at, you work at it every single day, you drill the muscle memory in, you practice, and just when you think you've done enough practice, you practice some more. Of course, tutorials like this can help you understand how the trick works, but nothing is going to substitute you getting out on your board, trying it as many times as you can, and just pushing through no matter what. So it doesn't matter what you're running into, never give up, keep pushing, you guys got this. If you need personal help, go to BrailleSkateboarding.com, sign up for the Braille Skateboarding Academy. I will be there on the other end of that line to help you guys out and personally teach you how to learn every single skateboard trick. Hope you guys are having a blast learning. We'll see you in the next episode.